I'm an ex-Liverpool star whose son plays for the Reds. Rio Nguema's breakthrough is huge. Ex-Liverpool star whose son plays for Reds reveals what Rio Nguema's emergence truly means. Roy Hodgson slams Liverpool and Crystal Palace after Mark Guehi transfer failure. He's the loser. Liverpool sent Mark Guehi transfer prediction after £35 million twist. He definitely wants to. Thomas Tuchel explains deadline day decision after Mark Guehi saw Liverpool transfer collapse. Now let's hear the details. Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Rio Nguema has become one of the most exciting youngsters in the Premier League thanks to his winning strike against Newcastle, and his emergence has given those at the academy hope that they can also make it at Anfield. Former Liverpool striker Djibril Cissé has claimed that Rio Nguema's breakthrough into the first team this season gives him hope that his own son, who also plays for the Reds, can one day make an impact at the club. Nguema burst onto the scene at 16 thanks to his stunning late winner against Newcastle United in early August, which secured a vital 3 points for the Reds in a 3-2 victory. Nguema, who has since turned 17, has now been included in Liverpool's Champions League squad, at the expense of stars like Federico Chiesa, as he looks to continue his rapid rise this season. Mohamed Salah has also given him sage advice, such as the impression that the teenager has already made. Cissé, who won the Champions League and FA Cup with the Reds, turned out at Anfield from 2004 to 2007. His son, Prince Kobe, 16, has been at Liverpool's academy for years and signed his first professional deal with Liverpool in July 2024. Last season, Prince Kobe made his debut for the U18s at just 15 years and 7 months old. Cissé, 44, told Ladbrokes that Nguema's emergence spells positivity for those in Liverpool's academy. To be honest, Rio Nguema's emergence is a sign of the new football. If you're good, even if you're young, you're going to have a chance, Cissé said. You know, nowadays, even at a club like Liverpool, it's not about how old you are, it's about how good you are. That's the kind of football I like. It's good for me because my son, Prince Kobe, is currently playing for the club, so I'm happy that the manager trusts young players. Nguema's speedy rise has fans and all those connected with the club buzzing that the ex-Chelsea youth star can become the real deal at the Reds. However, club icon John Barnes has pleaded with those expecting further magical moments from the youngster to let Nguema's career develop organically, warning against too much too soon. Let him grow slowly, Barnes said. We remember, ex-Arsenal and England player, Theo Walcott, he was the same at 16. Let's not put too much expectation on him, and Liverpool will handle him well. He's not going to be a starter for Liverpool anytime soon. But to involve him in the squad, keep his feet on the ground, let him grow slowly, he's at the right club for that because Liverpool know how to handle their youngsters. Nguema's late show against the Magpies came after the Reds had let a 2-goal lead slip, with strikes from Ryan Gravenberch and Hugo Ekitike looking to have claimed the points for Slot's side. However, Cissé is of the opinion that the Reds' dogged resilience in eventually winning the game was the mark of title winners. It wasn't easy. It really wasn't the easiest way to do it, but Liverpool managed to win against Newcastle, the former Auxerre man said. The way they did it was the mark of a team who want to show that they're not here to play around. They're here to win titles. Even with a lot of new players and a lot of young players, they're not here to play around. Winning with the last kick of the game after almost throwing it away sends a real message to the other teams. It's in the DNA of the club to never give up and to always fight until the end. Ex-Liverpool star whose son plays for Reds reveals what Rio Nguema's emergence truly means. Rio Nguema has become one to watch in the Premier League thanks to his late strike against Newcastle, and his rapid rise has given those in the academy hope that they can also make it. Ex-Liverpool forward Djibril Cissé has expressed optimism for his son's future at the club, inspired by the rise of young star Rio Nguema. The then 16-year-old grabbed the headlines with a dramatic late goal against Newcastle United in August, securing a crucial 3-2 win for the Reds. Now 17, Nguema has been named in Liverpool's Champions League squad, making the cut ahead of Federico Chiesa as he continues his impressive ascent. Even Mohamed Salah has offered him words of wisdom, a testament to the impact the youngster has already had. Cisse, who enjoyed a successful stint at Anfield from 2004 to 2007, winning both the Champions League and FA Cup, has a personal stake in the club's youth development. His son, Prince Kobe, 16, has been part of Liverpool's academy for several years and signed his first professional contract with the club in July 2024. Prince Kobe made his debut for the U18s last season at just 15 years and 7 months old. Speaking to Ladbrokes, Cisse 44, said Nguema's breakthrough is a positive sign for those in Liverpool's academy. To be honest, Rio Nguema's emergence is a sign of the new football. If you're good, even if you're young, you're going to have a chance, Cisse said. You know, nowadays, even at a club like Liverpool, it's not about how old you are, it's about how good you are. That's the kind of football I like. It's good for me because my son, Prince Kobe, is currently playing for the club, so I'm happy that the manager trusts young players. Prince Kobe made his debut for the U18s last season at just 15 years and 7 months old. Speaking to Ladbrokes, Cisse 44, said Nguema's breakthrough is a positive sign for those in Liverpool's academy. To be honest, Rio Nguema's emergence is a sign of the new football. If you're good, even if you're young, you're going to have a chance, Cisse said. You know, nowadays, even at a club like Liverpool, it's not about how old you are, it's about how good you are. That's the kind of football I like. It's good for me because my son, Prince Kobe, is currently playing for the club, so I'm happy that the manager trusts young players. He's not going to be a starter for Liverpool anytime soon. But to involve him in the squad, keep his feet on the ground, let him grow slowly, he's at the right club for that because Liverpool know how to handle their youngsters. Nguema's dramatic intervention against the Magpies arrived after the Reds had surrendered a 2-goal advantage, with goals from Ryan Gravenberch and Hugo Ekitike appearing to have secured victory for Slot's team. Nevertheless, Cisse believes that the Reds' stubborn determination in ultimately claiming all 3 points demonstrated the characteristics of title winners. It wasn't easy, it really wasn't the easiest way to do it, but Liverpool managed to win against Newcastle, said the former Auxerre player. The way they did it was the mark of a team who want to show that they're not here to play around. They're here to win titles. Even with a lot of new players and a lot of young players, they're not here to play around. Winning with the last kick of the game after almost throwing it away sends a real message to the other teams. It's in the DNA of the club to never give up and to always fight until the end. Roy Hodgson slams Liverpool and Crystal Palace after Mark Guehi transfer failure. He's the loser. Former Liverpool and Crystal Palace boss Roy Hodgson says he has sympathy for Mark Guehi and believes the England international's failed transfer to Anfield should have been resolved much sooner than deadline day. Guehi was on the cusp of a deadline day move to the Premier League champions after undertaking a medical in London but was forced to remain at Selhurst Park after a dramatic turn of events. Palace had earmarked Brighton's Julio Igor as Guehi's successor, but the loan move of the centre-back fell through when West Ham United made a late approach and Eagles boss Oliver Glasner threatened to leave the club if the skipper was sold without a replacement on board on Monday. That meant Palace chairman Steve Parish was forced to curtail the impending £35 million deal and Guehi's dream move was dashed, with subsequent reports emerging from South London that the Three Lions international is unhappy with how the events unfolded. Hodgson, who endured a miserable 6-month spell at Anfield 15 years ago, was Palace boss on 2 separate occasions between 2017 and 2024, and he says he feels sorry for Guehi, whose hopes of moving to the champions were denied through no fault of his own on Monday evening. I worked with him for a year and a half, Hodgson told TalkSport. I found him an outstanding individual, not just an outstanding footballer. That's been shown quite clearly during this long, drawn-out saga. He's the person I feel really sorry for because if right at the beginning it had been made clear his task ahead would be to stay at Crystal Palace and there'd be no question he'd be leaving in the transfer window, then I'm sure he would have got his head around that. But having been led to believe sooner or later a deal would be done between the clubs, I guess that his head for the last period of time has been that he was going to move. He's the loser in the situation. Palace should be the winner because he's such a good player, and to have a player captain and leader of that caliber should be advantageous. But it remains to be seen how upset he may have been by what's happened during these past few hours. I think the transfer situation could have been sorted out much quicker between both clubs. Liverpool may return for Guehi in January at a further reduced price, but with the 25-year-old a free agent at the end of the season, a move next year is likely to appeal for Arne Slot and sporting director Richard Hughes. Hodgson, though, has not ruled out a new deal at Selhurst Park for Guehi, adding, "Anything is possible. We did that, contract renewal, for years with Wilfried Zaha. But of course, the problem with that, and Steve tells me privately he regretted that his wages put him on such a pedestal at the club, partly because it meant the wage bill of the club went up enormously." Liverpool sent Mark Guehi transfer prediction after £35 million twist, he definitely wants to. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank has slammed Crystal Palace's handling of Mark Guehi after the centre-back's move to Liverpool fell through on Monday. The Echo reported in June that the Reds were prepared to be patient in their pursuit of Palace's star defender this summer. Liverpool believed that, given Guehi's contract at Selhurst Park expires next summer, they could sign him late in the transfer window at a knockdown price. That scenario looked set to play out after the Reds reached a £35 million agreement for the England international on deadline day. But after completing a medical in London, Palace's own attempts to secure a replacement were derailed. The South London side saw Brighton and Hove Albion's Julio Igor, who was on the cusp of a loan deal, approached by West Ham United, which forced a change of heart. Eagles head coach Oliver Glasner was adamant that a suitable replacement must be secured before the club would agree to sell Guehi to the Premier League champions. And former Chelsea striker Floyd Hasselbank has criticised how Palace have dealt with Guehi's future, with the 25-year-old now set to leave on a free transfer next summer. "The thing is, it's been hanging above Crystal Palace for a long time," he told Sky Sports. "This is not the first window that they've been speaking about Mark going, so why is the replacement not ready? Why is there not somebody there? Why would you lose £70 million, half a year ago or a year ago, now £35 million, and he's definitely not gonna sign? And they definitely have to play him. He definitely wants to go to America with England, so he's going to play. So they're going to end up getting nothing for him. That's bad business for a club like Crystal Palace. It's just bad business." Thomas Tuchel explains deadline day decision after Mark Guehi saw Liverpool transfer collapse. Crystal Palace star Mark Guehi was denied a move to Liverpool on transfer deadline day. As reported by the Echo earlier this week, the Reds submitted an offer of £35 million on Saturday with a 10% sell-on clause. And even though Palace were believed to be holding out for £40 million, a deal was struck, and that enabled Guehi to complete a medal. The England international was then waiting in London for the green light to sign for the Reds. However, Palace pulled the plug even after a deal sheet had been submitted to the Premier League after failing to procure a replacement. The move has reportedly left the defender angry, and he will reject any offer of a new contract and plans to leave Palace as a free agent when his contract expires next summer. But despite his disappointment, Guehi was all smiles as he linked up with England teammates on Tuesday. And Three Lions boss Thomas Tuchel has revealed he gave his side Monday off due to the fact it was transfer deadline day. He said, "It is one reason why we called the players up on Tuesday, to not have all these mixed emotions. They come on Tuesday, so they have one day off. We also didn't want to have that week too long. We wanted to streamline it towards the Saturday game and start on the Tuesday afternoon with training. But one part of the decision was also to give them the freedom to sort out maybe their transfer issues and the transfer subjects that come their way. So, yeah, of course we're interested. We need to know where we have to drive on the weekend." Guehi is a key member of Tuchel's World Cup plans and is expected to feature in the upcoming World Cup qualifiers against Andorra and Serbia.